What's your favorite podcast, Swerve?
You know that One Nation?
This is Jordan Grace, and you're listening to the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
BWB, this is One Nation Radio. You better get it right. Rich Latta, James Boyd came to give them life. The Blackest Wrestling Podcast has come to kick all ass and drop it 6 feet if they kicking trash. Word, let me welcome y'all to something different. And if you dig it, man, you should let some friends listen. We be getting it in, that's on the regular, dude. Ravish and flow, but this shit rude. See, James don't rap, so I had to break it down. The whole network, man, we coming for the crown. Raps in the columns, I keep them both covered. Making the beats too, so the listeners can bump it. Hit us with the rating, yeah, I'm saying it's a 5. Before you hit it, talk, bob your head side to side. It's One Nation Radio, and this is the beginning. It's Rich, and I'm here with James. It's time to listen to One Nation.
You got to unleash the power of the pyramid.
This is Mike Sempervive from WrestlingObserver.com. Check me out on Wrestling Observer Live every day. And also check out your boys, Rich and James, on One Nation Radio.
This is Kenny Omega. We're listening to One Nation Radio. Check it out, guys. These guys know what's up. Big Kenny Omega fans, and that's all that counts to me. Goodbye and good night. Hey.
Hey, folks. Welcome to this week's edition of One Nation Radio. I'm James Bonner. Here may have Rich Latta. What's going on, man? What's the word?
Oh, not much, man. Just finished watching the Wings and Fever game, and off night for Caitlin. And
off night for both of the stars.
Yeah, page 2. It was more like whichever one of them was gonna just not be trash, it was gonna win. And I kind of looked at this one as a scheduling loss a little bit for the Fever. They're on the straight middle of a 5-game road trip. They've been flying in and out the country from Toronto now to Texas within 2 days. So I was like, I kind of called this one in advance the other day. I was like, yeah, I wouldn't be shocked to see them drop this game, but it's all good. They'll keep going. Besides that, yeah, you know, I'm chilling, man. How about you, man?
I'm doing all right. We'll talk off here, but I'm doing all right.
All right, man.
Yeah. Nothing crazy, but I'm doing all right. All right. Just, yeah.
I've been, okay.
What's going on with the PT?
Tuesday.
Okay.
Yep, Tuesday it starts. And funny thing was, the name of the guy who's my PT is Antonio Davis. So I'm I'm hoping I get a nice surprise and get greeted by a former NBA All-Star. I just hope.
Can you imagine if a 90s NBA All-Star, all of a sudden you walk in there and they doing rehab on people, you're like, NBA All-Star, like in a commercial, NBA All-Star, and so what the fuck are you doing rehabbing people?
Strange thing that I have like kind of a story about Antonio Davis. So like I think it was maybe 2008, and I came up to Atlanta at the time to visit JL. All right, and I met with a bunch of my homies from Springfield in Atlanta. When I was flying back, I was in line to get on the plane back home, and the person in front of me was Antonio Davis,
really,
or whatever. Yeah, okay. So like he was cool, you know. I was like, oh, Antonio Davis, and then you know we talked real quick and all that. So I'm like, if I would be fucking like just crying, laughing, like if it's Antonio Davis, you know, the one that I know from the NBA. But besides that, you know,
like it makes me think of there was a story about this I forgot, is it called Raw Report, Raw Room? Like the kind of like almost like the little less than Jeff Teague, like kind of like a few guys had a couple cups of tea in the NFL and they do a podcast with like King Dunlop and a few other people. Anyway, they once had a dude on there. And he was talking about how, like, Luke Kuechly, shout out to Luke Kuechly, actually just went to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. How, like, he went from being first team All-Pro and just retired, right?
Yeah.
So, and then he retired, he actually, like, he started working. He started working with some sports science thing, right? So, he was saying, like, yeah, man, now that I'm about to leave for a few years, I'm now, like, I'm part of this organization, and I'm going around and seeing what people's selling or whatever else. So all of a sudden, he go walk around, he turn around at this seminar, turn the corner, all of a sudden, and sets up at this desk. He says, Kuechly, what the fuck you doing here? He goes, oh, hey, man, how you doing? He's like, Antonio Davis, what the fuck are you doing here?
That's how I go.
But much money you made? Why were you possibly wasting your time trying to help people?
And we're starting with, did somebody at the gym steal James's fitted hat?
Oh no! I just decided to shave my head this week. So I worn a hat the last two of the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
That's the only time I've ever worn a hat during the show. If you ever see me with a hat on, that means I haven't shaved. I don't feel like I was in the gym. I didn't feel like shaving and doing all that kind of stuff for doing the show. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, man, I was trying to get you to grow it back.
See, that's the thing about that. I can't grow it back, Rich.
Oh no.
Wait, I am not Jadakiss. I'm not Shaq. I don't just all of a sudden just show up with a line. No. I still got a line, but I got the moonroof situation. That's my problem. I got the moonroof. It's gone in the back completely.
Yeah.
The line's still strong, but who gives a fuck?
Right. The line's strong. You could get that Doc Rivers.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
Oh man, they telling you to get the spray. Oh man. Oh nah. Nah, we can't be perpetrating with no spray on this.
Did we ever talk about that on the show?
Sure.
WrestleMania weekend in Orlando.
Nah, go ahead.
So this before I shaved my hair, before it was like it needs to go. So I went and got a haircut fresh before we go to Orlando for WrestleMania weekend in 2017.
Yeah.
And I had braids my whole life, so it's like, or basically most of my life. So it's like I just go to a barbershop and say, all right, give me a one, whatever else, get me out of here. So this is a new barber, and I had seen him cut people, so I was like, okay, you cool, but it's not my normal barber I seen at the time. So he's doing it and everything. He's cutting my hair, and all of a sudden he pulls out a card. I don't know what the card is. I ain't paying attention. I'm looking at Sports Center or whatever's on. All of a sudden I hear, like, oh, you're spraying me! I didn't ask for this.
Spray this, man.
I was like, what? I didn't even ask for this. No, thank you. So it was too late. So I was like, man, let me go ahead and do this. I was like, and I think I called. I forgot who I called. But I was like, I think this shit comes out like once you take a shower, so we're good.
Yeah,
so
it's like
all right, so
over a few days it
I was like,
it
so
comes
what's
out.
the point of even doing this shit then if it comes out the one day?
They be just for the feeling, they for the picture, just
Crazy.
trying to do it, but
that barber. I never seen that barber chair again after that one. Nope. No,
that was the last one.
That wasn't my last haircut, but that was that was the last time I ever sat down with that barber.
Gotcha.
It's probably maybe like a handful of haircuts after that, though.
Yeah. Man, that got to be some sad shit to walk into the barbershop or to walk out the barbershop the last time and be like, this it.
What's sad for me?
No, because you ever hear that thing how they talk about, one time it's like the last time you play outside with all your friends and then you never see them again. You don't know.
I get you. I wasn't sad like that. Like that happened to me once. I was like, okay, like I'm getting my hair braided. I'm like, okay, and I was like, hey, Marilyn, am I thin at the top? Yeah, and I was like, okay, I got to figure out how to manage this. And I was like, all right. At a certain point, it's like, look, I could have rocked it a couple more years or whatever else before it ever became where people would have saw. But I was like, take it down now, cut it to a long haircut, and then as it goes, eventually then go bald. And I had to last with a haircut for maybe 1-2 years after that.
Yep.
And then I just went bald or whatever else. And I had a line. I still got a line, but it was like whatever. My whole point was like, look, I can't manage as well as Kobe Bryant did, but
he did it great.
Yes, but I'm gonna manage as well as I can for a nigga that ain't a millionaire. And I think I did a pretty good job.
Look, no, that man was getting a haircut every day. Like, well, yeah, man.
Okay, Rich, I gotta ask you.
Let's get to it.
Because I have up Prime right now, so it's Dream versus.
I got it up too.
It's Dream versus Sparks.
Yep.
The last 2 Thursdays in a row has been Sparks. Does the WNBA and Prime have stock in the Los Angeles Sparks the same way that BET has stock in 106 Park has stock in B2K? Because
points on the package.
This is getting ridiculous.
Points on the package. I know sometimes. I think I watched a game of Seattle and Portland the other week against each other, and it was in the 10 o'clock spot.
That makes sense. Portland, Seattle. And them, and then you also can throw in some Mercury too.
Aces get late games too sometimes.
That makes sense too. Yep. If there was a Denver team, they would get it too.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, they look. so like when they came into the year, like all these games, like they had a bunch of star power on paper. So like it was like NECA, they had Kelsey Plum, they got Cam Brink.
Hello. They got Cam Brink. And Brink was on her last Thursday, and she got TKO'd twice in the same game.
Yeah.
How is she not in the concussion protocol? How is she playing right now?
I have no idea. But, you know.
They would have took her helmet if this was the NFL. Bro, she had the other day when she ran into what's it called? It was crazy.
Angel stunting right now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, man. It's been a fun week. Being most hated. You know,
I guess we start there. I missed all of this. I didn't watch it in real time, and I ended up catching all this stuff after the fact. So
yeah. So it's been a fun week. So you know, I guess we should start with maybe we should do the match first, and then get into all everything around it or whatever. So
yeah, sure. Why not?
G1 Finals: Ryohei Oiwa versus Yuya Uemura. Yeah. Young guys. Oiwa is a class after Uemura.
Yeah. He made the brand distinction of being a musketeer, a real musketeer. And I got to say,
it might have helped him out.
Look, given where Shota is, given where what they've done with Uemura, and he said, "Hey, 2016, you gonna get into all the finals, you gonna lose everyone." Maybe just maybe it's only for Tsuji. But yeah, Oiwa just like I haven't seen much of Oiwa because I've been watching New Japan like I should be, but like obviously my connection right now at this point with the younger guys is the Musketeers and Takeshita when he shows up. So and obviously people like Goto and Saber and still around, or Taichi. But so I'm watching this now. Obviously, as you just said, as I said earlier, you had Uemura lose to Callum Newman in the New Japan Cup Finals. I'm thinking, okay, this is the a year ago, the year before that in the Dome, he got his hair, or was it in the Dome where he had the hair match? He got his hair shaved by Tsuji, right? Yeah. And there's been a lot of humiliation rituals along the way, and I'm thinking, okay, this is time. And I'm watching this match, man, and I like this match more than you start out. Look, before y'all start throwing tomatoes at the screen, throw it at the left side of the screen. Rich, do you take? I know you did RLPW, and I thought it was perfectly reasonable. I didn't see what your Twitter was like, but I saw what you clipped up, and I'm like, they ain't gonna like them clips. But Rich thinks this is at the worst a very good match. He just is. I'm not gonna put words in your mouth, but I'll move on from there. But I watch this match and I'm just like,
it actually might work better you explaining it like translating me or whatever, because like at certain points of this.
Well, I'm gonna let you say your piece and then I'll do it after that. But for me, I'm watching the match, I'm enjoying the match, but it's at a certain level, and then once he gets past 20-minute call, it's incredible for me. But my whole thing is my investment in Uemura. And then Uemura, there's one great tease of the submission that he's about to tap out to the side headlock, and he gets out. And I'm thinking, okay, it's his time to win. And he's tricking on that arm bar, and he's reaching down. I'm like, all right, it's time to tap. I'm like, oh, he's not tapping. And then they go around and smoke the rest, and then Oiwa gets the side headlock, and then Uemura, he's able to get his from underneath him, and he's able to lean back, and I'm thinking I'm looking at Oiwa's shoulders on the mat, and I'm like, okay, count the pin, Red Shoes, and next thing I know, Red Shoes just gets up and ding, 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 he's tapped. I was like, no! You can't do this to me. You telling me he tapped out after he got this dude's shoulder, he reached back and got this dude's shoulders on the mat, and Red Shoes didn't even see it? I'm like, no! Are you kidding me? Oh man! From that perspective, I was blown away. It's like this. I love this. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's a match of the year, but I love this. So go ahead, Rich. Go through your shit.
So when I watched it, I was like awestruck, kind of by the reactions in the crowd or whatever. It was an excellent crowd.
Loved it.
It was over. Look, I would never say the match didn't work or anything. Like it was successful. They clearly
you said it in the video.
it's like they should have watched. But I would say for Uemura, like some of the 2026 Hates Uemura, he was never really supposed to be in the spot anyway. Umino went out like the first, I think, day after that, and this is supposed to be Umino losing to Oiwa, I believe. So
sure, but it's similar to the 2023 Grand Prix, where it's like, okay, Kamatani goes down, and it's like, all right, now we got it, and everyone, and Mayu gets hurt, Azumi gets hurt, and it's like, and you're looking around, and you're like, okay.
Who you got?
You got Micah. You put Micah in the final and Suzu in the final. And then they had Micah lose. The crowd was furious. And what did they do once Tam had to vacate that belt? They went to Sumo Hall and put the belt on Micah in the rematch with Suzu. Mm-hmm. Because they realized they fucked up. They made the wrong decision. I'm watching this and it's like, all right, if your guy goes down, I mean, if Oi was gonna win anyway, then fine. But like, that's fair enough.
That's what I was led to believe.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, either way, watching this match, either one of them was deserving winning. For me.
Yeah, I'll say this.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't even bored through the match. I was like into the match or whatever. I thought it flew by, relatively speaking. Like, when they were doing the calls, and I had a long conversation with Josh about it, kind of like after it happened. And then, but when I'm watching the match, I was like, this is just a lot of holds. Like, it's a lot of holds, and I understand like the Uemura getting the hold over throughout the tournament and everything like that, and then it being this whole thing. And
Yuya being definitely afraid without the match. Like the first opening start of the match is like literally like I'm avoiding this guy's headlock at all points, and I'm putting my headlock on to keep him from getting his on. Yeah,
right. I saw a lot of like, hey, I'm gonna do this move to sun you. Essentially, I'm gonna show you what a real headlock looks like to start this thing off or whatever.
Yeah.
And then
I'm gonna work your arm.
It was about Oiwa getting to it.
And then I'm gonna work your arm to make sure that if you do, in the chance you do get this on me, I have an out at least because you're not as effective. This was I love the story. I love this match because of the selling and the story. Because at its bare basics, it is, as you mentioned on RLPW, it is a fundamentals Young Lion match at its peak. This is the best Young Lion match I've ever seen. But they're not Young Lions. You get my point? Like, this could have been that. They would never let them guys get 30 minutes, or 25 to 30 minutes. But you get my point. This is what it could have been. This is like, I'm not gonna get to it, but. This is like when this is like when Ida or when like Hannon had the Futures belt and Stardom, where it was like they were letting them open up and level they weren't allowed to, but if they match let them put it in like semi-main event or third from the top as opposed to opener. So yeah, I get this, like it's perfectly appropriate. I love the match, but I see what you're saying, and it's like if the crowd's not what that crowd is. Like, I remember Kenny Omega saying this about how he used to watch matches to try to learn is he would put the shit on mute. Mm-hmm. Right? And from that perspective, after 20 minutes, it's a classic. The first 20 minutes is just sitting in the slow pot cooking, and it's good and it's well wrestled because that's how you're able even to get to that level of emotion and desperation of people wanting to see the culmination of this match past 20, but it's only at a certain level. Appropriately,
it was almost like the cracker theory.
And the first 5 was a lot of mostly sitting in a headlock and getting in and out of it, but it's literally like sitting down on the ground and fighting it for the first 5 minutes. And then after the 5-minute call, they get up from that and start expanding more. But that was the world they were building inside the ring to tell this story.
Yeah. Super chat from Ethan Sabre Jr. Seeing Uemura and Oiwa develop their moveset and game in this tournament, and this match was the culmination. It was a great final match of the tournament. Appreciate the super chat.
It's the only match of tournament I saw. So, like, look, there's also that part of it, too, is like we're parachuting in. So, so a lot of people that have been watching it.
I mentioned that, too.
You did. But as a person that's watching it with no real stakes involved, and as a person just a person just
loading up the G1 shit. Final.
Yeah, it's like it's not the best. I mean, we've seen a lot worse G1 final before, but like this ain't the best G1 final I've ever seen either.
Yeah, I would say for me, like, there's only so much that's gonna entertain me at this point. that's the major kind of thing for me. And it was like, I think I saw some of the reaction to where like it immediately jumped into.
Did you see the reaction before you saw it?
Yeah, when I woke up, everyone was talking about how great it was or whatever. I was like, oh, okay.
That's where it is.
I was like, okay, let's get it. And then I loaded up and I was like, all right.
You were expecting to see like Lightning versus Jaguar Yokota and some shit like that.
I was like, all right. I was like, and I'll say it again. I feel like Bob Backlund could have had this match.
So what I'll push back with you on this. You said it is some out of 1976, and I disagree. I think it's some out of 1986. Like,
yeah, I mean,
but I do get what you're saying as far as like it's very stripped down, and that's for them. That's the point. But for those that are, what you're pushing back on is people that want to jump. Anytime there's a match like this that happens, they say this is all wrestling should be, and it should be locked in this, and it should be wrestling should be in a time capsule. And you literally like, look, this is one way you can entertain the fans. Let's not just discard all of the other ways to entertain fans just because this is the one thing you like and shit on everything else. That's what you're saying, and people are looking at you like you're crazy. And I'm like, but he's not. But he's right though. and if it wasn't for the medium of Twitter, everybody would agree. Aside from psychopaths.
Yeah, so it ended up basically being Richard Latta, one-man army, stand on business against the hashtag smarter niggas. Like, and I'm gonna just name all y'all right now. Well, I'm not gonna name them because I don't know y'all names. Y'all names are not important enough to come up on my airwaves. But seeing as how you follow what I say, the whole deal with it is just like, I feel like there's certain types of reviewers, Twitter accounts, they use these type of matches to shit on where wrestling has gone. Like, we need to leave it in 1976 where niggas used to wrestle without knee pads on. Like, they come out here and they disparage all the great wrestlers that have like made this past 15 years, essentially the One Nation Radio era, so fruitful, so fruitful to cover. As I was watching motherfuckers like Bryan Danielson and falling in love with how they wrestle, as I was watching Kenny Omega, as I was watching Will Ospreay, as I was watching Shingo, as I was watching Ibushi, as I was watching Tanahashi, Swerve, like, what are we saying?
There's too many to name.
There's too many great wrestlers who ended up being so successful, made so much money, who had so many great matches, who won so many match of the years, that I think you people sound fucking dumb at the end of the day. However they want to do it, however they want to dress it up, I decided, fuck that, we're going to war. And I swatted every single one of them, or at least as many as I could see. The mentions were busy. But trust, there were more people that agreed with me than disagreed. The only thing that would happen was people would jump out. If they were just being too fucking ridiculous, I'll just let them yap or whatever, because I wasn't trying to disrespect anybody, anything like that. I'm sorry. If you were watching the NFL, these niggas would be arguing against the forward pass, James. These niggas would be out here saying, nah, we should only do mid-range jumpers out here. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. Like, I'm sorry. The game don't go backwards. I'm sorry. It doesn't. It's cool. And this match that Uemura and Oiwa should be in niggas' tool bags. Yes. Right? But it's called a bag.
And more often than when guys start getting older.
Correct. So, this should exist. It's cool that it exists. What I'm saying is, niggas that have come out here and acted like that should be the only way we should do it. Niggas should not have epic matches. Niggas should do less. Niggas should steal from me, pretty much, what it comes down to. I fucking reject it. And not only do I reject, I put the logo on. Y'all know the ROPW shit. The problem is nobody ever pushes back on these motherfuckers. That's the thing. It's like, if you come out here and you're like, hey, man, I like flips. I like bombast. I like when niggas out here trying new shit. Like, nobody goes back at these people. And the thing is, like, they come out here with these goofy ass star ratings that you'll watch like a match of the year candidate and some shit, and they'll be like, 3 1/4. And then it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then I think so much of this has linked up with Will Ospreay in particular. The match he had against Swerve at Forbidden Door, and now the match he's about to have in how many days? 10 days? 10 days at All In.
A match ain't even happened.
They have preemptively shitted on this match when every Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay match to ever exist has been the opposite of what niggas thought it was going to be going in.
Yeah.
They have come out here and showed up in my mentions free of soap, free of washing and bathing themselves, making me wake up out of my sleep in the morning, get off of my dick, eat some breakfast first, Jay-Z once said. Loading up their podcasts to talk shit about your boy. And by proxy, this network. And should I just crack it open, since I'm already like heating it up right now? I'm feeling. I know there's a certain way that you feel when niggas and women start getting some traction and some motion out here.
You left out Mexicans.
Oh, we'll get to that. Niggas want to see all this arm bar wrestling and arm drag wrestling, right? You will accept it from the white man. You will accept it from the Japanese man. Where the fuck is Jonathan Gresham right now? Where the fuck is Lee Moriarty? Is anything happening for Lee Moriarty right here? Are y'all riding for him like that? When you see this athletic wrestling, right? That Mexican wrestling that Bret Hart used to talk about disparagingly, that you niggas have decided to basically write it on the side of your bodies like AJ Styles' children. Y'all niggas, this is nothing but some bullshit. This is, and I think the main thing I'm trying to get to with it, the criticism behind expanding the game is fucking stupid because everything advances, evolves, and changes.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we have everything to learn from. So if you're a new wrestler growing up right now, you can choose to wrestle like the G1 final. You can choose to wrestle like Will Ospreay. Back then, niggas didn't have no choice.
Yeah.
So to tell me, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. And the things that I love and found a way to somehow be as successful as we have been, James. Can I put it lightly like that? That we don't know, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm sorry. You niggas are wrong. You niggas don't even have the courage to show your faces on Twitter.
Yeah, there's that too. Yeah, man, like, the thing for me, especially when it came to that point, and we talked about this. I mean, for me, I brought this up to you back in 2019 when Cavanario, back when he was still in his prime, was still doing those floor dives with no knee pads on, right? And it was like, you know, I had just started watching Stardom that year, and I'm just like, yeah, man, like, why is it that, you know, I mean, we saw Ospreay versus Bandito at the Hitchman Super Show, right?
Yep.
And it's like, how come, you know, there's Bandito, there's Phoenix, there's Penta, and a million other people that are fucking incredible wrestlers, and, like, they don't get the shine in, like, their counterparts in Japan do. Like, why do we share a border with Mexico? Why are some of these CMLL shows free on YouTube, but, like, there's nobody covering it? Why do they and at that point in time, it was like before Bushiroad Boss started, I'm like, why are there less people watching and reviewing it on Cage Match, for example, than Stardom?
Yeah.
And I obviously, like, it makes no sense. Like, why? I don't get it. And I was like, I mean, I do get it, but it's like, it's sad. And, like, I don't know why no one's, like, ever verbalizing this way, because it makes no sense. And then it's like, all right, well, then, like, what is one of those popular, like, styles is, like, this hybrid style that involves Lucha Libre. And lo and behold, second most successful promotion in history of the world off the back of it. I've never understood why there's always been this pushback of saying, like, you know, especially because I grew up watching WCW cruiserweights.
Exactly.
And so did they. So it makes no sense. It's like, you saw Liger. I know none of them say Liger stinks. I know none of them say Ultimo Dragon stinks. I know none of them say Ray or Eddie or La Parka or Psychosis or any of them stink. They all think they were awesome. What Vikingo is the next generation of that, off of that stuff. Nick Jackson, Ospreay, and going forward, it'll be Avery Styles, and it'll be Nick Wayne.
Nick Wayne.
The ones that move forward, and Azumi, you know, and Starlight Kid, and it's like I don't get why, and also like as I just mentioned, the speedsters in Joshi, they don't get that shit. And then like you watch this match, in like the last 25 minutes when Oiwa was no selling or fighting Spirit up and rolling through Germans back to back, and it's like,
oh,
that's maximalism too. For all the talks of this match is so toned down. It's like when it was time for them to get the crowd. Once they got the crowd in their hand, they started doing the no selling, the fighting Spirit stuff, and no selling.
Nothing is new.
Yeah,
nothing is new.
So I was just lost on like why was this. You know, because obviously you responded back, or you saw the response to this, or the critical acclaim to this, saw it, and was frustrated with how these motherfuckers in particular talk about this match. This is the only way wrestling should be. You're fighting back against it. I'm hearing about this. I don't even know who won. Happened, and then I say, let me watch this or whatever else. And I watch. I'm like, yeah, I'm with Rich. I'm not nearly as, you know, I'm not going to war over this shit because I think I'm not going to argue with these people that are lost, or if they heard me explaining this situation or wait, you didn't RPW, should be like reasonable minds can agree that is not some crazy take, that video you did. But people lost it on you, and I'm just like, see? The internet, internet's not a real place.
Yeah. Yeah, because there was a lot of disrespect in the mentions, and like the thing about me is like, you know, I'm capable of travel. You know, I show up in places in real life. Like, like that's the thing. So we should all be polite to each other.
That's another thing about how me and you kind of handle this stuff is like I don't really insult people in that way unless they get crazy at me, because it's like it's not that I want to fight or any of that kind of stuff, but it's like, hey man, like, I would not talk to you in any kind of way that I would not talk to you to your face.
Correct.
Because you never know when you never know who's a hacker and who has access to these flock cameras and knows how to get a hold of shit. Right? So it's like you never know what somebody want to do to you. So like for me, it's like I treat it as like, hey man, unless you cross the line with me, I will just give it back in equal return and I will move on. But other people just like they. All over, 100 or 280 characters? All right.
Crazy. So, like, it was like, I didn't say the match was bad. I didn't say
it was good. You said that you were compelled by it in the beginning, if I remember correctly.
James, wait till they find out the match I actually hated was the fucking chop match with Yuto Ice and Yota Tsuji. That's the irony of this. That match I hate. If they want to come talk about that one, we can do this again next week. Like, and it was funny to me when people were like, "This album wrestling should be," and it's like, did y'all not see what the main event of Collision was? It was O'Reilly and Roddy Strong, and they basically another version of this match of like technical beat 'em up wrestling with chops and strikes. So it's like, this isn't something that and now because there's a lot of people they immediately threw it on AEW fan and AEW sexual. I'm like, this is, and then there was one guy I was like, this is wrestling. This is not a promotion critique. Like this is like you gave the game away.
I mean,
like,
but that happens to me and you, right? Like I'll say something dumb that for example, like that beginning of last year when Moxie was doing bad stuff, right? And I was like, I hate it, right? And they were like, and someone was like, yeah, what about his WWE stuff at the end? I was like, that was worse.
Yeah.
I was like, these aren't critiques like normally speaking, when we're talking about somebody doing a bad angle or a bad match, it's not about what promotion it's in. If it's good, it's good. Like, we're going to talk about Ray versus Gable later, right?
Look, I know some people, They're dedicated to fighting this war, James, on the behalf of Shinahan Pro Wrestling. They don't need, look, they don't pay you. They don't send you checks. They don't do any of this. You shout into the ether. Like, like they don't pay you for this. Like, and then it's like AEW is like the farthest thing from a homogenized style that so many people brought up. They don't give a fuck about that's code. They don't give a fuck about a homogenous style. They want their way to be the way.
But that would also lead to what? Another
homogeny is fucking cap. These niggas is liars. I would say grifters, but they're not even they're making Elon pennies on this shit. If that. So it got to so much where I was swatting niggas and people were saying just ridiculous shit that Dave Meltzer himself decided, you know what? I'm going to come to my boy Rich's aid. You know, I'm a jump in and support his points with mine. So, yeah.
So
incredible.
While y'all was out here, you know, while y'all was out here fighting the evil forces, like y'all are a super team or whatever, or a super tag team. When you were next to him, did you ever ask him, "Hey man, when you gonna get to this My World and Mercedes match?" You know?
That's why I'm trying to get him to come on One Nation Radio. You know, like, you know, he retweeted me multiple times, so I was like, Dave, if you want to come work the soundboard, I could get you a drop. It ain't that hard.
Can you imagine Dave Meltzer dropping a fa?
Oh my God, yes, why not? You know, Dave, look, we can talk it out. Like Dave can help even fill me in what more stuff that I don't know.
Well, you ask about Mercedes, and you bring him on the show. You ask about Mercedes in My World, and I ask him, "Hey man, what's up with you grooving all these pitches to Chris Jericho?" It's getting real nasty. It's been nasty for a minute, but it's getting nastier and nastier.
So, you know, I don't know if it'll happen, but Dave's definitely welcome to come through, hang out. But yeah, I found it interesting that the greatest wrestling journalist of all time decided to start backing me up and not any of you dumb motherfuckers. So y'all tell me what happened on that one. Let me know. Hashtag smarter niggas. Where are y'all at?
Another part about like the people talk about the flips and believability is like you saw.
Oh yeah, we should get to that whole part. Yeah,
you saw Uemura and Oiwa in there bouncing off the ropes and thought that was a realistic fight.
You know, you seen niggas in a headlock for 5 minutes and it looked real.
It's not even about us. It's not about whether or not. And we talk about this all the time, especially when we started watching Stardom, about like how they handle submissions, how like their urgency once they're caught, they want to get to the ropes immediately. Is what makes them stand out is because we all there's so many people that do jiu-jitsu and all that shit in martial arts and then they bring it to the wrestling. Perfect example or world building around like the psychology for the match. Zack Sabre Jr. The way he goes from move to move to move, and the logic is a commentator like Charlton will say his logic is if I get a submission and I can't get it, if I can't get a tap in like 3 to 5 seconds, I move on because I'm never gonna get it. Right? Okay, that makes sense to me in how you can keep moving, keep motion in his matches, right? This match is I slap you in a side headlock and you just stuck there for like 45 seconds at a time, but there's never a tap out, and I'm just like, dude, is that realistic to see someone be put in a submission, slap the submission on?
None of this look real.
Especially the first 5 minutes. It's the equivalent of the wrestle stuff that's used to suck when we were kids watching slow matches. And it's like, obviously this is way better. I'm not trying to make it, I'm saying like, it's the same logic of I slap on a hole and you get someone to cheer, but like, this is a match where like, it's a sporting event and both sides getting cheered for evenly. It makes no point for either one of them to get the heat in that kind of way.
Yeah.
So I was like, but you know, 100 or 280 characters, you can't really get into that kind of nuance. People want to dunk.
Yeah,
and they get surprised when you come back and
you know,
you
know, like, like it's really simple to me. Like the thing is, I don't think none of this shit look real. So I'm not married to cutting myself off from like seeking out what I like and also being open with what I like. And that's the thing. Like for when I talked about making that Ricochet Osprey video, the 10-year anniversary or whatever, and I was just like, you know what? I always did like the cruiserweight shit better than anything else. I always did like Shawn Michaels. I always did like niggas that was athletic as shit. Why don't I just like make that what I like? And I think the problem is, I think the hashtag smarter folks, the thing is, they are brave enough to talk about what they love. That's the thing. But a match like this will drive them to go harder at what they hate rather than champion what they love.
They're turning into a cultural war.
And I'm the opposite of that. I'm like, yo, that shit, like, I was just like, all right, yes, I have my jokes on how I don't want to see arm bars and matches and
but but you're saying that
all the other shit.
But you don't actually mean that, like, because you always be like, you be saying it every time Saber comes to the Forbidden Door, and then every time he leaves, you're like, fine, take this 4.5 or 5 stars, get the fuck out of my face, Zack Saber, because you don't really mean that. You saying it to be funny.
So when I see it, I'm like, yo, like, you telling me like that, like I was talking to a guy today who was just talking about like. The matches is like diminishing returns and all that. I'm like, to who?
Right.
Like, to who?
40,000 for Wembley, by the way.
I don't get it. Like, and the thing,
you tell me what's diminished? 40,000 for Wembley? Third time in 4 years?
Like
the number 2 promotion in the world?
I don't know. Perhaps, James, if they did less and gave us less as a community and less as a fandom, they would sell more. You know, it would just mean so much more.
I somehow doubt it, seeing that WCW's not around anymore. I somehow doubt it.
So, like, the thing is, with everything else that, you know, that kind of went like that, like, it's great that, you know, everybody, that people that love this match, like, they found something that made them, you know, feel like it was a match of the year, match of a lifetime or whatever. I don't give a fuck. But, you know, in my eyes, like, I feel like I've just watched so much wrestling at this point to where, like, I know what appeals to me. I didn't say once that this should be a universal 3-star match. I just gave my review and what I thought of it, and niggas soiled themselves.
What do you give the match?
I didn't actually officially rate it.
I know you told me, but I was like, because I don't recall you on air giving out that. So I was like, I don't even know why people are so upset. Because you gave the matches props. It's like, it's, you know what, it's not that different from like when I gave on Twitter. I gave that Roman Reigns and Seth SummerSlam match. I said I think I gave it like 4.25, 4.5, and I was like, I'll never watch that again. Mm-hmm. And then someone was like, well, then it's not a 4.5-star match. I was like, brother, I have 2 Jay White and Kota Ibushi matches from the G1 and from a Tokyo Dome main event that are 5 stars, and I will never watch those again. I forgot what I said to him to tell him to get the fuck out of here, but like, yeah, bro, just cause these matches are great, I will never watch it again for one reason or another, and I have my reasons, they're valid, and you can't change my mind on that because they're my fucking opinions.
Yeah, like, so, you know, take the 3.5 that I'm handing them. Shit. Take the 3.5. Take the very good match. 3.5 stars means very good match. Sorry, take it with you.
3.5
pocket it.
3.5 stars means very good match.
Pocket it, you know, and then realize that ROPW, it would need to be something else for ROPW.
Now watch this. I gave it 4.5.
Look, and then for the average of One Nation Radio scoring, 4 stars. Take it with you.
Great match. 4 stars means great match.
Did we just do that on air, James? Did we just figure that out?
Yeah, I guess so.
Incredible. But yeah, also, niggas, keep my name out your mouth. Bring some respect, please. What else? Big picture. Oiwa wins.
And he's not getting a dome match.
Not getting a dome match. Right? He, much like Zack Sabre Jr. and Takeshita before him, challenges in October. They might have a guy here. And I'm led to believe he doesn't wrestle like this every match. He does other things too. So even Ryohei Oiwa even himself said this isn't to be done by everybody. He's 27 years old and he understands this, James.
No, forget that part. You know how good you got to be to have this match and go that long? I don't give a damn if I don't care if the crowd is investing in Japan and they're a great crowd and they're great fans. Like, that's one of the reasons why people don't do this. That's why it's refreshing, because you have to have such a conviction of belief in your ability to compel a crowd in that way for that long doing that style. That's why people don't do that style that often no more. There's a reason for that. Yeah. Like the wrestler, there are tons of wrestlers that want to wrestle like this, or probably do want to wrestle like this, but they know that this will not get them over, depending on their situation. So for the fans that want this, the wrestlers know this won't get over everywhere, or all the time. If this was constantly what it was, like if AEW is a lucha promotion, and this is like the world of sport ish 80s NWA hybrid, whatever else. This will not survive in American television.
Which is another reason that none of the AEW New Japan stuff makes sense, because why would I compare New Japan Pro Wrestling to AEW weekly television? Rich,
it's hard enough we be comparing AEW and WWE, and they're both American-based companies. Yeah. They're both one's based in New York, one's based in Jacksonville. They're both in the same time zone.
Yeah. So I'm displaying some of the Meltzer tweets on the thing here. Actually, there's only one. There was another one, but I can't find it right now. But yeah, so either way, they might have a guy, and
look after that match. Whoever was going to win was, yeah. That's one of those matches where like you stamp a seal of approval on whoever wins that one, yeah.
Like he looks cool. Yeah. He's got like an aesthetic or whatever, like as far as like the jacket or whatever when he walks out.
The Tenzon part also works too.
The Tenzon shit, he should keep it. And then, he's got a generational rival. So the next time they do this again, it will like me knowing what to expect now from it.
It will make probably you tune in to be like, like you have a match like this at that age. The next time they have a big spot, you go check it out.
Correct. Like, and I think like Uemura has like big room energy or whatever. Like,
which is a long way from 2 years ago.
Yeah.
When we thought that he was going to be the next Sonata, or some folks thought that.
Yeah. So did they bring your skin color like they did to Ibu? I don't think they did, but there's always you always have your guard up for that. So, but yeah, y'all, if y'all want to see, y'all can just, check my Twitter mentions, check the quotes. Y'all know how Twitter works, of all the clips and all that. It was it just got to a point, James, where I was like, you know what? Nobody ever, I think it was when I was talking to you. I was like, I'm going to challenge him. Like, I'm going to fight them all, so to say.
What was it when they did the greatest wrestler ever thing, right? And there weren't even 11 Mexicans on the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many? It was literally it was basically the majority was white men and Japanese people. The overwhelming majority of it is like, look, man, these people are great wrestlers. If there's a top 100, this list is gonna be wrong, and there's 300 people that could be put on this list, and they all have their equal right or chance to be on there. But it's like the way it shook out is like it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. It's like, man, how come you have this style that is this popular? It's influenced this much of the last 30 years of wrestling, 40 years of wrestling, and people just shrug.
Yeah, they're not trying to move the game forward. And unfortunately, it don't work like that. Like, I talked about sports. You can talk about it in rap. You can talk about it in movies.
Everybody's looking for an advantage.
You can talk about all these things to where when niggas started doing too high safety, I gave this specific example, and I'm not so great with the football and stuff, right? The strategy, right? But I know a little bit or whatever, right? I was like, but when them niggas started basically trying to stop Mahomes from throwing super deep all the time, right?
Two high safeties?
Yes. So like Mahomes using the big, epic, flashy offense and doing all that shit, right? Like whereas we ain't never seen it before. What was the counter to that? It was like, okay, we're gonna put two niggas back there.
Two tight ends start running the ball more.
And then it was like two. And what does that sound like? Did that sound like something new, James? Did that sound like something that's like, hey, niggas ain't never came up with this before?
No, that's just 90s. That's 90s NFL. That's 90s and 2000s NFL.
So like, and then when all the defensive ends started getting quick as fuck, you couldn't have a fucking statue back there anymore. Right. So what happened? Niggas had to start getting fast. So, as you mentioned, Anwar, these are the same people that hate Swerve. Yes, there was a lot of that too. And talk about him rolling and stuff like that. I'm like, you niggas don't know how to wrestle. Like, shut up. Like, I'm sorry. You can be entertained by it or not, but like, you can't tell the man he don't know what he's doing. So I don't know.
And also, Swerve's had too many different types of matches to say he doesn't know.
Correct.
Like, that's the thing, like, right? Ospreay doesn't know how to wrestle until he wrestles Zack Sabre Jr. in a match. He knows how to wrestle like that, right?
You know, when people stop Ospreay from his worst tendencies, quote unquote, all that shit.
No, but the thing is, like, people were like, this person doesn't do X, Y, or Z. He's like, no, just because you don't see them do it doesn't mean they don't do it. And then when they do it, then they act like they didn't see it, right?
Yep.
I
think it's really the lowest form of pseudo intelligence there is, because it's like, you know, it just seems like they don't actually like most of wrestling. Well,
it's Twitter, so chances are these people are middle aged now. And they're doing the things that happen when you get of age, and like the music of the kids age. And look, I'm guilty as this. I haven't had my finger on the pulse of rap since 2014 because I fell out of love with what the sound was. It wasn't for me. There's pockets here and there I'm enjoying it, but only what I'm doing is I'm going back and listening to older stuff, right? I'm kind of tape trading or whatever else with in a sense to what these guys do when it comes to.
You were saying you was listening to what the Black on Both Sides the other day or something for the first time, right?
I listened to Mos Def, yeah.
So like.
But am I saying am I saying Umi Says should be the only rap song ever? No. Because first off, it ain't even a rap song. That's a fucking neo-soul spiritual. Negro spiritual, too. It's both.
Yeah.
I want black people to be free, to be free, to be free. Anyway, but yeah, like, it would just be, it's just because I'm not fucking with it don't mean that, like, the world's going wrong. It's like, no, this is my time. This is stuff I grew up and learned on. And my foundation are built around, and my collection and taste is built around that. And once it strays from that, that's cool. Not everything's meant for me. But I don't go on Twitter and be like, but I don't go on Twitter and be like, yeah, you know, and then import that into what they do in their wrestling competition. This is weird.
Like, and from there you got a choice. Either you can be like, you know what? Like, because there's plenty of people that traffic in old wrestling, and then they're like, that's my thing, or whatever. You can go to different stuff, like the wrestling playlists on YouTube, and like
Rich,
a lot of different people.
Kenta Kobashi?
I became a fan of Kenta Kobashi, but just watching YouTube, watching his title reign, like, and then learning about All Japan Pro Wrestling through all those documentary type deals.
Yeah. Rich, how did I become a fan of Manami Toyota? How do you become a fan of Aja Kong? And how did I become a fan of Aja Kong?
Curiosity.
YouTube.
Curiosity.
Yeah.
So
blind curiosity. How did I become a fan of, like, Ayako Hamada, or, you know, like, the shit's on YouTube. You can go find it.
And also from there, like, it's like you have a choice. You can be curious like us, pause, or you can you
wait, give it a second to continue your point. Go ahead.
Let it sit there. Like, you can be curious and be inquisitive about different styles, or, you know, whatever the fuck, right? Or you can stop in your tracks and learn nothing new, right? Because there's going to be more wrestling coming, and so many people think, James, that the wrestling has been exhausted. There's nowhere else for this epic style to go. Motherfucker said this 40 years ago.
Right.
Like, this is Dave Meltzer told me Terry Funk said this shit will never last, like, as far as like what they're doing. And this was 1982, and then Terry Funk started doing it himself.
Right.
And then Dave was like, yeah, like this shit, there's more great wrestlers are going to keep rolling off the fucking assembly line, coming up with new ways to do this. This is the history of wrestling. And all these people claim they love wrestling, but all they do is disrespect it.
Well, you know.
Like,
look, man. Look.
Like, it's not only you don't believe in wrestling, you don't believe in the wrestlers.
Yeah. And another part of it is like, I mean, they're just it's trapped in the time capsule thing. It's like this is my era. I'm protecting it, and it's like look, man. No one's saying Flair Steamboat ain't fucking awesome. It was
in 1989,
and it's awesome now. It's awesome on a rewatch, right?
Yep.
But that don't mean that like
we should stop there. That don't mean we should stop there.
Exactly.
And that don't mean these guys should stop right now and just be like, you know what? I'm trying to reel it back in, dog. We're going to take it back or whatever. And it just don't work like that in any medium, let alone wrestling where you had the freedom to be what you want to be.
Especially in this era now, when you have a big promotion that more or less lets you do what you want if you get, and there's a bunch of talent around you as opposed to, territories where it was like, oh, there's only like maybe a handful of guys worth a damn. And
not only is it a bunch of talent, these are guys that have been familiar with each other in different stages of their careers. They have history with each other. They have ups and downs with each other. They have chemistry with each other, like doing all this stuff. They have their fucking ethos. Like think about the next time that you see, like, I don't know, like Okada and Naito, for example. They're in two different places right now or whatever, right? But obviously. I gotta
watch that match, by the way. I gotta watch him win the GHC.
But say the next time they get in the ring together, how that's gonna make you kind of feel like, damn, like these niggas was like them niggas for their time or whatever. And then like for all time kind of. But there's gonna be more like the niggas that are in their mid-30s are like the guys that are Okadas, Omega, Ibushi, Tanahashi. Like when we started liking them, James, they're as old as the guys like in their mid-30s right now, like your Ospreys, Heyman, Swerve, fucking I don't know who else, MJF, fucking
Jay White,
Takeshita.
Jay White apparently when he's away from fucking
Jay White.
when he's away from your boy Finley, my God.
Yeah. So the thing is, like, these niggas ain't gonna just stop trying to surpass the people that came before them, and then the generation after them is gonna be coming for them. And we gotta let these people go every direction with it. And then ultimately we will see what rules out at the end, what wins out at the end. And typically
they know the answer to that, and that's why they're upset.
That's the thing.
Yeah. Like I said, it's a cultural war.
So it's like,
they want to make wrestling great again.
Right. If I've done anything tonight, it is not, and whoever clips this or whatever, it is not to be intentionally bombastic. It is not to be any of that. It is simply to challenge this stuff that I have seen fester and capitulate, and people use these matches to get their agendas off, and it's never challenged.
Yeah, and I think when you mean, for me, when you say challenge, I'm thinking along the lines of like, I don't think they understand, like, when we broke it down the part about like when the way that we look at Puro compared to Lucha Libre and like why that's weird. I don't think they've ever examined that.
Of course not. It has to do with race, James.
But I'm saying like we've said this to other people when we just talking about like I don't think on air like it's finally I think it's if someone is watching it's like clip this part.
Yeah.
Clip that part.
Yeah.
Because that's the part that like people are missing out on and stuff where it's like because y'all got blind spots.
Yeah. And look, we and the thing is we will always have blind spots. There will never be time for us to watch either all the wrestling in the world. That's why Dave Meltzer exists. or watch all the matches that have ever like taken place. Everyone's gonna have blind spots,
right?
So, do they just want watching wrestling to be easier? Like, is this maybe part of it?
I mean, I wish it was. I wish I could just go on to Cage Match every couple days, see matches that get rated 8 or whatever else, and just click on and watch. But it ain't that easy.
Yeah. All right, I think it's cool to leave it there on that.
Great match.
Great match.
You know, you got
4 stars off One Nation Radio.
You got to give them the what do you call it, the criticism sandwich, because otherwise they had like
let's give them let's give them a little fire. You know. So Ilya Dragunov is leaving WWE apparently, and
you sent me this earlier, and I was like, what? How they let him get loose?
So his contract was coming up, and he decided not to sign back with WWE. And what ended up happening with him was obviously at the Royal Rumble, Brock Lesnar like no-sold all of his shit.
Yeah.
And kind of made him look crazy.
Doing this big chop stuff, he roared and then threw and hurt his ass over the top rope to the floor like a geek.
Bro, apparently, like, he had another appearance in WWE after that, but I was under the assumption, like, this afternoon while people were putting that clip out, I was like, was this his write-off from the promotion? And I didn't know it, but apparently it was, like, the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. He got eliminated by Malachi Black, of all people, who also is no longer with the promotion.
Who do you think is hired first?
Oh, my God. It's got to be Ilya. Got to be Ilya. Yeah. But, yeah, man, that guy, all right, look. This guy, Ilya Dragunov, probably one of the most like physical match havers in the world, I would say. A lot of chopping, a lot of fighting, hyper violence, like the whole H-bomb deal. Had a lot of matches with Walter in NXT UK.
More matches
classics. Correct, classics or whatever, and I think it's interesting that this is another guy that was a champion in NXT, and then he's cut now, to continuing this pattern that's emerging, and Papa H has not taken care of these guys, and the guy can wrestle anywhere or whatever. I would imagine if he wants to keep making big money, he will be all elite, brother. But who knows what's going on? This guy probably has a lot to think about as far as like his visa situation. So I would imagine he's not gonna be out there in the wind too long, and it's not like he has a 90-day or anything like that.
He doesn't.
No, because his contract was expiring. So, like, it's one of them Ciampa situations. Okay. So, for him, like, obviously the guy, can go. He can have great matches. He came back from an ACL injury. Yeah. What do you think about this?
Look, man, if you go back 5 years ago, when we're talking about, like, best wrestlers in the world, he's in that conversation for, like, in a big match situation. Obviously, you mentioned to torn ACL or whatever else, but like even when he was on the main roster, he was having cool matches with the United States title or Intercontinental title. Can't remember which one it was, but like with Sami Zayn, he was having good matches on the main roster. It's just how that goes. Like somebody that's a great wrestler, one of the better wrestlers in the world. They get up to the main roster. They had a run of great matches or successful matches, and then you're too small, whatever, we don't like to look, you don't speak you got an accent we think is funny, whatever, we gonna stuff in the locker, Brock Lesnar don't want to work with you, Roman Reigns don't want to work with you, you're fucked, right? Like or whatever.
Kind of made him a geek or whatever to a lot of the fans, like they're just like, oh, it doesn't work.
And like, yeah, he's a dude that's tough as nails, and then the fucking, Brock Lesnar just throws him over like he's nothing. Like, yeah, that
you treat a guy like he's nothing, he's gonna be nothing. So like, and
especially for that particular fandom, post AEW, post the fan split, where it's like the people that actually would care about that and fight for that would have kept, but that's not a thing anymore, right? Like, look what they doing to Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah, and you would think like the way this thing is going, like them niggas was wrestling each other last year or whatever. Right. So like, save your money, Carmelo. But at least it's not like the guy was fired or anything. He can pretty much write his own ticket. He'd have great matches again.
He can go anywhere.
He can go anywhere. Anywhere. So, long run and, the UK, there's a lot of UK free agents sitting out there right now. Sheamus is a free agent right now. Yeah. Dragunov. I think there's another big one that's out there too.
I mean, Malachi's from Denmark, right?
Oh, yeah, him. Yeah.
I mean, is there somebody else? Because, I mean, they cut a lot of the UK guys that stuck around a while back.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it's tough. Sucks for him. And they never did Walter and Dragunov on the main roster.
Nope. I don't think they ever did Bate either. Bate and Dunn just still around.
That's incredible.
Dunn's a producer now. Like that Gable and like the double mask match in AAA, he produced that match apparently. Kaylee Ray's in the chat just said Miss Kaylee Ray. That's the one that got released. And like she's already on the indies doing hardcore matches.
Yeah, it's wild, man. Best of luck to him. I'm sure he'll figure something out.
Yeah, I mean, he's so talented. It's like he's gonna get a shot wherever he can write a ticket wherever he wants to.
Yep. Yeah, man. It's wild. I think.
If he shows up in Wembley, it's gonna be a loud pop.
It could easily happen.
Cause look, beginning of this year, we were talking about, people who were down in Ciampa or whatever else. Hey, let me tell y'all this right now. Ilya Dragunov at this stage of the game is probably still better than Ciampa.
Man.
So.
That's interesting. That's it. Because, like, I guess, like, in Ciampa's case, even, I think there were injury concerns. Like, there was neck, there was knees, there was all that. So, I think it was only the knee issue with Dragunov.
No, but I'm saying, like, for those that are unfamiliar or never saw him, like, let's say Tunnel Talk. I don't think Tunnel Talk knows who the fuck Ilya Dragunov is because they don't watch WWE. But I'm trying to give an example. Like, if, you saw that, if you like that Ciampa and Darby match, or you like that Ciampa and Kyle Fletcher match or whatever else, Ilya's that kind of super wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
At the high end, if he still got it, and from what I saw, a little bit I saw on the main roster, I believe he still has it.
Yeah, but I guess we should go forward to AEW last night.
What do you think of the show in general?
I thought it was much better than last week.
Oh yeah, of course.
Hot crowd.
Yes.
They had a lot to accomplish. My God, Rey Mysterio. I got the match on the other side going on in the background here before we talk about a refresh. Okay. But he just did that aside moonsault to the outside of the ring.
I'm going to say, boy, I was so happy watching that match. We'll get to it.
Yeah. But Dynamite I thought they had a lot to accomplish. Like, they're trying to heat up everything from All In. I think I liked everything with Kenny and Will this week.
I liked everything from perspective of, like, if I'm a Kenny Omega fan, I'm like, that's why he's the GOAT.
This was one of those weeks. Like, honestly, I try to keep it as humble as I can when I'm talking about Kenny. Like,
look, man.
But brother, this week, this was like everything where it's like
he wiped his ass with Will Ospreay for 2.5 hours on this show.
This show should be titled "The Violation of the Life and Career of Will Ospreay." Like, I think Kenny was so excellent in the sit down and everything that had to do, like, it felt like Ospreay was like kind of under prepped or whatever. Like, if this was the intention, as far as like we're gonna have Kenny basically have a 10-7 round this week, if that was the intention, fine. If it wasn't, however, it's like, I think Will is either he doesn't have the creative instincts or Kenny Omega's eating him up, and it's like, he's competing, like, hey man, like, and he just has more things, I think, that people can identify with than Ospreay does right now, because, like, I kind of wrote a couple notes, and I was like, Kenny sat his career on the table and said, you don't measure up in any way, in a very believable way where you couldn't really disagree with him. He talked about not drawing. He talked about like bringing him back to help sell tickets and stuff like that. And I thought the whole sit down was like a speed run of what their first match was about or whatever. So Will basically doing the whole thing about the COVID stuff and everything like that. The thing is, it's time and place. And I don't think talking about COVID right now is as effective as it was when we were closer to going through it. So there's this also a whole thing where he comes off like a mark for Kenny Omega still. Let me be a mark for Kenny Omega, Will. And it's like he's looking for this validation in Kenny rather than feeling the validation for himself, knowing who he is, and also, the crowd or whatever, letting him know who he is or whatever. So it was like, I think that, and then like you can see the screen cap of the YouTube clip that's going around. That's a meme and everything. Ospreay looks unhinged, insane, and non-heroic. Like it, for me, he needs to cut the promo of his life next week that not only says like that I've found like I'm not trying to be like you anymore. Like I'm not trying, like it's cool that you've been chasing him for 10 years and all this other stuff, and like we know that already. But at some point you have to look him in the face and be like, I'm your equal at this point. Like it's like not that you and crying about you don't see me as an equal. You gotta say, no, I'm your equal. And I'm going to beat you because I'm Will fucking Ospreay and I know who I am. And like, if he wants to zip it up, you're muted, James. If he wants to zip it up, you're muted, James.
God.
Yep.
Are we here? Okay, cool. That's where we left off at during the slap promo 2 weeks ago. And then we went right back to this. Mm-hmm. Back to the doubt of does Will Ospreay actually believe he's on Kenny Omega's level? And it's like, look,
if he don't believe it, we ain't gonna believe it.
I enjoy Kenny Omega wiping the floor with this nigga because Kenny Omega, his dickhead Kenny Omega is incredible.
He does it great, man. Like I love Kenny as a babyface, and I wanted him to
passive aggressive.
Like
it's amazing.
It's like, bro, it's like Kenny has this keen sense of self of exactly who the fuck he is. Like, and how can you really go against that in all elite wrestling? It's hard, man. Like.
Look, Rich, we said that was it after? It's like it's the same shit. It was like, hey man, are we sure that Hangman Adam Page should win at Full Gear 2021? It's this shit all over again. It's like, look, regardless of however you set this up, when it's Kenny Omega with the belt, with the person that's supposed to be his heir apparent, it's always gonna be. It's like,
but this nigga's too raw.
No, it's always gonna be. Regardless of however much of a dick Kenny Omega's gonna be, it's gonna come off cool because it's gonna feel like
everybody cheering. All these people cheering for him last night.
It's gonna feel like 2016, 2017 after the G1 or in the Dome. It's gonna be like, no, he's like, I'm a bad Kenny Omega. I'm a bad guy. No, it's a meme. No Kenny Omega. But Ospreay's in London. No Kenny Omega. It's like this is literally how it's playing out. It's like you set. Tony Khan, you wanted this, and you reap what you sow. Once you decide that you're gonna, give Kenny Omega an edge to try to sell the tension of this match by him hitting him with that one-wing angel at the end of Redemption. Look what's happened since.
You asked for this.
You asked for this. He looks. Look, man.
This nigga looks locked in.
He looks locked in, and in the comparison with Ospreay, who I think is doing good work, you just left like, look, man, if you're an AEW fan, I don't know how you have the attachment to want to root for the attachment with Will Ospreay enough to want to root for him over Will Ospreay, which leads to me doing the whole no Kenny Omega thing. And like, look, man, at the end of this night, when Kenny Omega hits that one-wing angel on that man off the apron through the table and his eyes bug out and it harkens me back to 2023 in the Dome, he's like, I'm back. It's like, I saw that, I was like, we have never seen Kenny Omega be New Japan Kenny Omega in AEW, and I finally feel like this New Japan Kenny Omega in AEW. Sorry, Ospreay. As far as your motion and everything else, like, look, it's dried up. It's like pussy on Prozac. I'm sorry. We're done. We're done. You're going to have to take this L with you in 10 days and come back and get it. Sorry.
Oh, man. So, like, I guess for, like, I'm big on babyfaces feeling like either, like, badasses or, like, inspirational, right?
He's neither. He's impotent.
Right. He's neither. Yeah.
Why have we done two babyface versus heel matches effectively in Dynamic going into Wembley, and the last two of them like this, both these impotent, uninspiring babyfaces that you just say, well, they're just gonna roll out of bed in the London hotel, take their ass on transport into Wembley Stadium, and they'll just undo by having one of the greatest matches all the time. I know it's Danielson, I know it's Ospreay, and they're going to do that. But you're not getting your work done ahead of time. You put all the pressure on the match. When you when you should just be the bill carries the match, and then it should be shooting fish in a barrel. Think of what Swerve. Remember we said the same thing. Look how Swerve got Danielson looking.
Yeah,
and it's the same shit.
Yeah, like it just for me like. It goes back to like Ospreay not like they came up. There was also something they shot like about Ospreay in the hospital this week, like a documentary, and they released it through YouTube. No, it was him in the hospital, like going through the neck surgery. And shit,
okay,
right. But you are a hardcore pro wrestling fan, James. I don't know if you would have known about that had I not told you.
Right.
They uploaded on YouTube and it just went to die.
Well, AEW does that. Think about Hangman in 2020.
They should have been playing these clips on television for fucking months. Instead, we got Marina fixing his neck with the towel, and the Death Riders, nursing him back to health, rather than telling the organic human story of, hey, my fucking neck is fucked up and I might have spinal stenosis or whatever. So this is what it took through, for me to go through to get back. So it was like a lot of it was like they wanted to make this fake story when a real story was like right there. It was a layup, and they didn't decide to tell that until 12 days before the event on YouTube that they don't really like. They have 4 million subscribers, and that shit had like 10,000 views at one point. Like, it was embarrassing.
Supplemental content.
Yeah. Like, it's like, this should be the important thing or whatever. And then, even then, though, it's like, can't really use that against Kenny Omega because Kenny Omega almost fucking died. So, like, it's like, maybe Kenny Omega should have just won the belt at Wembley, James. Like, maybe, look, should we have done that, people? Let me know in the comments. Like, I mean, like, I'm not saying, like, I'm not excited for the match.
To be fair, look, given the way the tickets moved or whatever else, like, I don't know if these tickets move better if if it's MJF versus Kenny Omega.
Yeah. To be fair. I don't know. Yeah, but like, I think the thing for me, like, is like Ospreay just feels like he's hapless and like he's just not landing. If this was a rap battle, like, it would have felt like Kenny would have had a lot more Don DeMarcos going off in that sit down last night, and it was just like he was running them down with the truth, which was like, or what seems to be the truth. I'll say that it's a storyline. Or whatever.
Like when he hit him with the at the end, and he's like, your kid's gonna be there. And I'm going to make
a new hero.
I'm going to make a new hero. Like, it made me think of, like, it brought me back to, like, it made me think of Bret Hart's son at WrestleMania 12 after the Iron Man match, and you see him mouthing the words to Shawn Michaels' theme song after he beat his dad, and I'm like,
nasty.
Like, if this little 7-year-old motherfucker come out here talking about the battle cry, I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna scream on in 10 days if that happens.
Yeah, like, it's just like, I want better for Will. I just don't know if he has the character instincts. And like, there was a comparison that I'm sure you're gonna hate it. I'm sure the audience is gonna hate. I saw it on Twitter. I think it was Ibu that might have brought it up. It was like, in a way, like 2026 Will Ospreay is not the earlier versions of Will Ospreay. All right. Yeah. But in a wrestling sense, like, to how it just seems like him as a babyface potentially being a champion, like there's some 2019 Seth Rollins on him. Like to where I would slightly disagree because for me,
he's never going to have
Ospreay
he's not going to have the worst match 2019.
There's that.
Yeah.
And Ospreay doesn't necessarily make himself unlikable, I think. Like,
yeah, he's not. There's no thing he's going to hop on Twitter and be like, yeah, you know, this other company that's funding half of the.
He has had some Twitter. He has had some Twitter spats, but
shit about having sex with his wife. I don't care. That's not real. That's not real.
Yeah, or the touch of grass stuff, and you know, there has been not to the nearly to the level where Rollins was like making himself like completely detestable.
There is stuff that if you don't like Will Ospreay, you're more than in your right to not like Will Ospreay. I'm talking about for the average person that's watching these shows, whatever else. That he hasn't done anything that's off-putting in that way. You can make the argument that he has for other stuff, but not
other stuff. Yeah. But I just hope he taps into the creative instincts and he has the help, you know, constructing his stories and how he comes off, because when he came into AEW, he did great as just like this fiery kind of babyface that almost was like this unhinged, like kind of British man and stuff, and you know, he was fun or whatever, right? It doesn't feel like there's a lot of fun in Will Ospreay right now, and it's like when I saw him working the trios match or whatever, he looked like he was letting his hair down, so to speak, and he was having fun like working, but like when it comes to like the creative aspect, everything has felt so heavy with him since he's come back, and it should feel like there's like some sense of freedom for him and ascension or whatever, but it feels like this. It's like, I don't know, like there's weird energy around it for me. It's hard to describe, but I've been describing what it feels like for the past 4 months. It's like whether I know it or not.
Right.
So I don't know. Like, and maybe when he gets over there, you know, over there at Glasgow next week, he's, you know, got some other folks with some accents around him. He feels, you know, he gets some home cooking and, you know, stuff like that. And maybe now the food won't help. I was
gonna say, you think when he goes back over there, he gonna be like, yes, I'm glad I get back to this boiled meat. Like I don't think
he can get his Nando's. You know,
sure.
That's what we always talk about, and he finds the promo of his life in him next week because he's gonna need it. And the thing is,
he needed it too. He needed it last week and this week. He ain't got maybe he does have it, but like deploy it earlier.
Like you don't get cool inside of 1 week. Like you don't close that gap between you and Kenny Omega in 1 week. Like it's just bring the bell. Like, and it's unfortunate because like I think how you get a title kind of makes like how you gonna hold the title, and it feels like he would be a sitting duck kind of.
AEW's been bad with the top baby faces.
Yeah,
no way around it. No way around it.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Tough.
Like Willow Nightingale and Andrade are the two best baby faces right now. Not against them, they're doing incredible. But my point is like, all right, the national champion.
Yeah.
In the third most over woman in the company. Okay.
You brought up Willow. I think we should talk about her and Mercedes because everything they're doing in comparison to Kenny and Will, where it's like it feels like Kenny's eating him alive almost and like carrying him along. Willow and Mercedes has been so simplified to where it's just like, I hate you. And even Will Nightingale is carrying this energy. I hate you. I don't like you. It's smoke.
Yeah. I hate you. You said that crazy shit about the comparison you made about, I'm not even going to say it, but like they're picking up parts of that of like, you are too perfect. Yeah. And that's the reason why they don't connect to you. Me, I'm just my whimsy, middle school teacher self, elementary school teacher self, and they love me. because I come out here dressed like Mrs. Frizzle half the time. So yeah, like, and then like they also had the benefit of they didn't try to start this out and build this over the span of months and months and months. As far as staying tied to each other or loosely connected to each other once to finally meet back up, it was like, okay, we're gonna basically start it on and go from there. They didn't have enough time to fuck it up. It's been incredible. Like, I think this is the best. I mean, you can say Mariah and Toni Storm if you want to, but I disagree. I think this is the best like women's storyline for me that I've seen since like Tam and Julia.
Yeah,
like, it's palpable hate, and it's earned, and they've had great matches along the way, and their success individually, it like leads them back to each other, and they fucking, you're always in my fucking way. Yeah. That's the main thing. That's a perfect, like, that's what wrestling rivalries are. You're always in my fucking way, and I hate it. Hangman Swerve, you're always in my way, and I hate it.
Yeah, they've got some momentum as far as like I'm seeing a lot of people call for them to actually main event. It's not happening. Let it go. But
no, they didn't move. Kenny Omega has moved at like 12,000, like 12,000 tickets or more by now. Maybe 15,000 tickets. No, simply no.
Yeah,
It was at like, what was it at 25 or was that 25?
It was like 22, 23
it's
or
not
something
40
like that.
because he became the champion. No. What's wrong with y'all?
Yeah, I don't know.
What reality y'all live in? Like what you like, but yikes.
Look, you will get no bigger fan of Mercedes and Willow than me, and them going like should is a hard thing to
when they do all when they do all in Boston and Foxborough, yeah, sure, maybe. Maybe.
Yeah. Something like that. And I just think they have had a great feud, and it should not. I don't think their part in it should be understated. Like they should like.
This is the best like mic work. I almost called her Sasha. Mercedes ever done.
Think so?
Yes, Rich. Remember we used to talk about like her and Bailey at times, but like especially her and Charlotte. Like they would always have these similar to what's happening with Ospreay and Omega, where it's like there's something left desired in the story in the TV build up towards the match, and then she saves it in her matches, and her opponents will save it in the ring. Like outside of like Mercedes and Toni Storm, Mercedes in Statlander, and Mercedes in Willow, like those are her three best TV programs she's ever had. The only other one you always thrown in discussion would be like the Bailey stuff, but the Bailey stuff happened over over a year. Yeah,
I'm seeing people say they should try to make a main event All Out or something. I disagree, and I think some of the I'm going to take my cues from the crew on this one. You're not about to set Mercedes up to go head to head against CM Punk in Chicago and then blame it on her. Wait till fucking Wrestle Dream when they main event in Orlando, or should main event in Orlando. Let them do it there.
I didn't even think about that. I forgot that All Out's always in Chicago. Totally forgot. So what build are you doing?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Probably Wintrust if I had to guess.
Is Wintrust the Sears shit? Used to be called Sears?
I think so.
Okay. Oh shit, Kate Martin! Alright, anyway.
Takesha's back.
Yes.
He hit a nigga with a Poison Rana wearing them white hammer pants.
Bro. Last time I was on TV, you betrayed me. And then we had a match, and you took my title, and I went away, and I come back, and it's smoke, and everyone knows it's smoke. And what we start doing, we start doing that stupid ass wrestling. Like we didn't just brawl and try to blood each other up or none of that shit. We didn't do what Mercedes and Willow did. What we did was we just basically had what we gonna do in a match for like 30 seconds. Like, bro, he did. They did a Michinoku driver, a Raging Inferno, and also Poison Run. I was like, who fights like this?
Them niggas want to have a G1 sequence just right there. I've been at the G1 all month.
I was like, this is silly. This is silly. I like it, but it was silly. I was like, bro,
I was like, he pulled out a Poison Rana in a sneak attack. That's amazing.
Like,
that's amazing.
I was like, look, man, you gonna make me feel like what do you call them, smarter wrestling fans? What do you call
hashtag smarter niggas?
Yeah, this is shit. Maybe they got a point in this instance here. Maybe they do. just for those 30 seconds though. So I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like I remember, I got shit. You talking about F4W retweet our stuff? Like Alvarez retweeted when I retweeted him, and I was like, yeah, man, like this shit ain't no street fight or whatever. I was like, that definitely Poison Run is definitely not having no street fight. Definitely not. Michinoku driver street fight. That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy.
Nigga would die out there. Kevin Knight blew up Darby Allin.
Oh my God.
And then Sting, El Hijo de Sting, basically made his real debut. So he's gonna fuck the kid up next week, I would imagine.
I love this. Kevin Knight comes out there wearing a satin dress shirt, like an asshole.
Yes.
Comes down to the ring, pops his shit, tells Darby, come forth. Says stop right there on top of the ramp. Security needs to check you for weapons because you're a domestic terrorist. Because Darby does use asymmetrical warfare.
Yes.
Because, he blew that nigga up with a bag that was on top of the shit.
He blew multiple people up with something in a bag.
But Kevin Knight specifically in that big cage match blew him up with C4. Been watching people play Metal Gear Solid lately. Blew him up with C4, and this is get back. All right, you gotta look. What he should have been like, check under his tongue for razor blades. What he should have. That's what he should have said to him. But he didn't do that.
Make him walk through it, set up a metal detector.
Yeah. So Darby, he said, "Okay, you can come forward." Darby look around. He take one step, and then Kevin Knight or Don Callis, whoever was backstage, let off the drone strike on his ass, blew his ass up Jeff Hardy style.
Yes.
Blew his ass up Jeff Hardy style. And then they cut back. Yes, drop bombs on him. And then they cut back to Kevin Knight rolling out the ring and telling the cameraman move. You hear him tell the cameraman move, right? And then they cut back to Darby, and all I see is just a black superhero flying in the air with a belt hit and belt shots Darby, and Darby does the flip bump, and I fucking died laughing. Rolled his ass back into the ring, set him up with the chair around his neck, and then he get the closer to the chair, and then as he got him up, I don't know if you heard the comments. I don't know if you heard the mic pick up what Kevin Knight said. Kevin Knight said, "Get his ass out of here!" I fucking died.
It's great. Man, it's great.
Look, I Kevin Knight. This is the best thing Kevin Knight's ever done in AEW, outside of the bell to bell action. This is awesome. Darby, they made Darby like the. That's
a matter of fact.
He wore the ass whooping because he's underdog babyface. He did what he's supposed to do. I mean, I love this. I love this so much.
I was like, who is the LeBron James you bum of the week? And I was like, man, like it felt like Ospreay, right? Because he comes out there after the main event, gets his ass whooped and shit like that.
After Kenny Omega just had a triple threat
just shits
match,
on him,
or triple threats. Just had a
trios match,
and they got jumped after the trios match.
Yes. And then there's Darby who walks in there to a bomb going off.
I don't think you're a bum if you fall. He was deception. IED, okay?
Yeah. He fell for deception.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did see the Zilla Fatu promo, Harry. I don't know any. I barely.
Baby. Not a Nepo.
Yes,
baby. Nympho baby.
Nympho baby. That is
flub. It's a flub. Whatever. It's still funny though.
Yeah, he should run with that somehow. Like at least on social media. Yeah, on social
It's
media. He in
WWE,
NXT. He'll figure it out.
Like WWE, like he ain't get rid of that. Don't use that.
I don't really know
enough?
much. Yeah, I don't really know much about the guy. I heard he's got a checkered past, but whatever. It's the wrestling business. Like so.
Look, I only know he existed.
Yeah, I don't know too much about the guy.
I don't even know who's like what his relationship is to like. I know last name. But I don't know.
I believe his dad is Umaga. I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. What else? John Moxley and Jay White. We should talk about that. John Moxley and Jay White. They had a good one.
This match is great.
I like this match, and I was like, wow, it feels like Jay White has a pulse.
So remember, like he first came into the company, and then he was in the Continental Classic, and him and Moxley had a great match like this, and it's like it was just simple for me. It was simply get him the fuck away from David Finlay. Get him away from David Finlay.
Yeah,
a couple weeks ago, we were like, bro, he looked lost his baby face. We don't know what the fuck's going on. That was last week, actually. We like, you don't know what, he looks lost. He don't know what he's doing. And then he does this match. It's like, oh no, he knows what he's doing. He's in there with someone that's a star.
Yeah. And I think Jay White has always been someone that I think if he doesn't pull somebody from like, all right, like a best in the world level guy, like he might necessarily not be able to wrestle up to that level or whatever. It'll be just, he'll bring that best in the world level guy a little bit down, but it'll still be really good or whatever. But like, I don't see Jay White against like lesser people as something like, I don't know. Like I can put him in there. I can put White opposite of anybody, I feel like, as far as like that are like, big stars or, great workers, something like that. But just like a mid person in Jay White, I don't think that works for me.
Mid in general or mid in AEW?
What would you say is the difference?
Okay, well, mid in general is like, trying to think. Mid in general is like, you put him in there with Jacob Fatu.
Mm-hmm.
Where mid in AEW is like, I think it's a higher bar.
Mm-hmm.
I think in a general sense of pro wrestling, I think that Dave Finlay's a mid wrestler.
James unfroze.
You're unfrozen now. Oh, whoa there.
He'll be back shortly. There he is.
All right. Okay. So
you're in.
What I'm saying was Jay White and David Finlay in general is mid, but AEW, he's not mid by AEW standards. He's a preliminary by AEW standards, given what we've seen of him.
Mm-hmm. So
it's like, yeah, just keep him away from David Finlay and people in that level. Because in the C2 a couple years ago, it's 2 years. Obviously, he's not the same wrestler, or he's not the same physically, but like. He wrestled people that were mid because you got to have mid people in the Continental Class to make it work, or any round robin tournament of that ilk. So, yeah, I just say you got to just keep him the far fuck away from David Finlay and the dogs, and we'll be fine. Now, my question is this: right after that match,
what would a Jay White and Okada match look like right now? Like, because that match has always been the other way. No. Like, it's always been like Okada as a babyface and Jay White as a heel.
No. My dog did not leave New Japan Pro Wrestling to be put back with Jay White. I was in the dome. After seeing match of the decade so far, Ospreay and Omega. And what had the main event was Kazuchika Okada in the first Tokyo Dome main event from New Japan Pro Wrestling post the death of Antonio Inoki, coming down with an Inoki robe during the match, jutting out his chin like Inoki. It can only squeak in the main event. In the dome, can only squeak out 4.5 stars with Jay White. This is same Jay White that I saw in the main event of Madison Square Garden that Okada can only squeak out 4.5 stars with there too. For some reason, I've been cursed with Okada and Omega in real life events. I don't want to see it in AEW. Shoot it, kill it with fire. Darby with his flamethrower, bring it out. Let me have that. Let me shoot that with that. I never want to see those two wrestle again. Keep them away from each other. 4.5 stars is not good enough when it was those stakes. No, don't put in AEW. No, thank you. Now, Jay White versus Kyle Fletcher.
Yeah, they should do that.
Jay White versus I'm trying to think who. I mean, I was going to say MJF, but no, that's never happening again.
I don't think we're going to see that one.
I mean, if I was you, I'd say the fuck away after what he did to me. I mean, there's plenty of people like Jay. We were overran with heels. Jay White's one of the new baby faces back. He should be programmed somewhere after this, even though he lost his match. The thing for me that I was kind of confused with, not confused, but I'm like, how many fucking trios teams are going to be in this trios match with Bro Dito or Good, Bad, and Ugly? Because it's like, all right, there's presumably a Swerve team. There is the Dogs that show back up with Gabe Kidd. There is the conglomeration of O'Reilly, Strong, and Orange Cassidy. And then there's like the man. Like, how many fucking trios? What's happening?
Match.
Is it gonna be a six-pack trios match?
Bro, I think it's gonna be like a gauntlet trios match. Like, there's a chance that could happen.
Okay.
I'm led to believe there's still a lot of stuff in the air right now, and there's like, I would say dotting the I's, crossing the T's. So there's a lot of stuff to work out, and I think Tony's trying to get a lot of people on the show, which is why you saw the insertion of the Dogs. You saw, what about Orange Cassidy and different stuff like that.
That's my first thought. Like, gauntlet match and this match, like, these are basically the Andres.
Yeah, and they're going to use basically the high profile feud of Swerve and Heyman to shepherd everybody else in, seemingly. Not how I would use some of my biggest stars, but promises are made. What else? And then the regular gauntlet on top of that, like MJF sends in a video from the pool with Andrade beating the fuck out of John Cruz.
That shit's
hilarious.
Like, why was Andrade just ready to come down in the ring in his gear, ready to whoop some
ready?
This is an unannounced match. How did this happen? Like, he was just ready. Like, he had the merch on and all that kind of stuff. He just immediately spinning back elbow.
Yo,
get him
pins him.
Yeah.
MJF cut a promo on him, had a couple one-liners and stuff like that. But they're building that up to keep an eye on.
He got to stop. MJF in that promo said Big Hebrew has huge influence. I was like, see, stop playing like that. Stop it.
What kind of influence, Max? Trying to think of anything else that was particularly notable. Rey Mysterio and Chad Gable.
Man, so I saw I think on Tuesday or whatever else. No, yeah, Tuesday. People were tweeting about Rey Mysterio, and they were showing like matches, like they were showing like clips of Edge. It was like the 4 3/4 and plus 5-star meme, except it was like AJ Styles, Edge, or maybe it was like AJ Styles, Cena, and Brock Lesnar, and they were all like showing their post match of their last matches or whatever else, and they were all black and white. And then they showed Rey Mysterio in color. I was like, what happened here? And then I saw he had a match. I heard he had a match with Gable, and people were like, Ray still got it. Okay, let me go to cage match. I saw that shit said 8.6. I was like, oh, I'm watching. Let me get a copy of this right now and go watch this. So turn it on and I watch it, and bro, like the first exchange, like Ray looks like halfway into the first exchange. So like the first 15 seconds.
He looks slimmed down.
Ray, yes, he's in his best shape in a long time.
Yeah.
So, but at the start, like first 15 seconds after the lockup, like Ray moving slow. I'm like, what the fuck is that? I was like, oh no, he can't move. And then in the middle of the sequence, you see him speed up to. It was like watch somebody go from like 7 or 0.75 speed to full speed, and I'm like, maybe I don't know what just happened. I don't know what's happened. But then all of a sudden he gets up speed. Like, okay. I thought one of my ghosts finna go out sad just now. And then he speeds up, and then he just wrestling. He's Rey Mysterio. He's been in the last decade or so. And I'm just like,
he's wearing the baggy pants, and it looks natural again, kind of like.
Yeah.
You know, Ray been wearing the
he started wearing the tight pants again, but he started wearing the baggy pants. But look, it was a good week for the people that moved over to the baggy pants. Jay White got his groove back, and Rey Mysterio apparently is just timeless. So yeah,
$5 super chat from Dex. Okay, Death Rider Sicko, member of the Jay White Defense Squad. I was at MSG for this guy. I hated that match. Jay's on Fraud watching to the real C2. Appreciate the super chat.
Look,
I mean, we'll see. Like, I would be willing to see whenever Ospreay has it, be like, hey man, it's always been smoke. You know, what's up? I'd be willing to see that.
I mean, we got to figure this out with him as far as like where you gonna sell in the babyface pack or whatever else. Because yeah. But like, so someone suggested him versus Kevin Knight, and like, given that he beat Kevin Knight earlier in the what was it? Was that the Owen?
I think Kevin Knight's debut match in the company was against Jay White.
Yeah, he beat him. Yeah, but so like, they could do that or whatever else.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that'd be good. But yeah, like back to Ray, and like it's the same Ray you've seen the last decade from Ray or whatever else. It's
great to see, ain't it?
Classic. It's the basic classic stuff you've seen: the 619, the moonsaults, the drop the dime, the jumping, the springboard sentons, that kind of stuff, right? But the thing that was added to it was like seeing the anti-air base stuff that oh my god, I'm blanking on this.
Gable?
Right now. That Gable was doing. And like Gable pulled, like there was a springboard spot where I guess Ray was maybe going for like a springboard West Coast or a West Coast pop, and he catches it and turns it into like a makeshift like bridging fisherman.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, that was awesome. And he did a couple other things that were awesome. And I was like, and then you think about it, it's like, well, this is basically like some 2006 Ray versus Kurt Angle's son. That's what it was. It's like he wrestles like Angle. He has a singlet. He's an amateur wrestler guy, but he's smaller, so he's more gifted as far as dexterity, and he has some updated moves, whatever else. And it just worked. And the match kept getting better and better and better. And like by the time you got to the part where Ray gets out of the first big tease of the ankle lock, like he finally hits the 619, or he goes for another 619 attempt, doesn't get it. He then lands in a spot where he gets the 619 in the corner, which is visually is you rarely see that, and then he leads up to another 619, and then you like, okay, he's gonna drop the dime. I think he does, but it just. And then before that, he almost dropped the dime, and like he got the knees up and everything. The match just worked. It just
there was a dope spot I saw. It was like a 619, but instead of connecting on the 619, he got both legs caught into the ankle lock.
Yes, that happened early in the match.
Yeah.
Yes. It was all this. It was just so well done, and like the match just worked. And like the crowd, once he survived that and got to the 2 619s and then got the dime, like the crowd desperately wanted Ray. The crowd got on their feet. They desperately wanted Ray to win their Intercontinental title, and it's like, man, I was like, I wasn't expecting to see this, Yeah,
it's like it's interesting they're letting him back in the ring, kind of. I like wonder.
Because they use him like he's Nick Aldis in AAA, seemingly.
Yeah, and it's like, all right, they be trying to. It's like they trying to wind niggas down and shit like that. But like, I feel like Rey Mysterio is so valuable. Even TKO wouldn't be like, you know what? It's time to.
They wouldn't dare. And also, look, you go to Rey Mysterio and say you want to take a 50% pay cut and see where he ends up. Even that man finna be in Jacksonville in no time.
Yeah, like I don't know, man. That's interesting because like the thing they did here was put him with Gable, and Gable's been working with all of the luchadors,
and they're telling that and they're telling that story on commentary of like since he's came back, like the luchadors he said he didn't say luchador locker room, but it was basically like Graves basically saying like the Mexicans have basically forgiven him, and I'm like, okay, sure. He said most of the luchadors have forgiven him. I was like, how you know that? How you know? You want to talk to them? I don't believe you want to talk to them, Corey Graves. Some tells me you making this up as you go.
Well, Corey Graves do be doing commentary in AAA, so like maybe he's
I didn't know that. Fair enough.
Yeah, maybe he's done his job as a broadcast journalist.
But you know Michael Cole, like when Michael Cole does commentaries, but I was talking to someone backstage, like you didn't talk to me backstage, but you just making this shit up as you go. That's fine.
Yeah. But it's always cool to see a good Rey Mysterio match that's around. Rey Mysterio is how old right now?
He's got to be in his late 40s.
51 years old.
Shit, he's 51. Jesus Christ.
Yep. He will be 52 in December. Look great out there, man.
Bruh.
Like, and
he will never be bad.
It's like you could use this guy to draw, right? Like you can use him in a big match, right?
In 2018, when he had that match with Andrade on SmackDown, I think I said it then. He's never going to be bad. And then when he had the match with his son in the LA WrestleMania 39, I said the same thing. He's never going to be bad. And now it's 2026. He's never. And you know, there's Blue Panther out there. There's all them CMLL guys in their 60s that's still doing this. Rey Mysterio will die still being good at pro wrestling, man. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. He is going to die being better than his son. Like the whole go back, yo dad, you're the dad, you have a son, he's a teenager, he thinks he can beat you back in the front yard in a game of one-on-one, and then you beat him, and you like, I'll never play him against, one day he might beat me. Ray ain't gotta worry about that. Dom will never be better than him in pro wrestling. It will never happen.
Yeah.
He's gonna be 60, he gonna be out here doing... He gonna be out here doing tilt-a-whirl DDTs and springboards with a cane. He gonna figure out how to make that work, and he's still gonna be good. I'm telling you, this man has beaten knee reconstruction.
Look, man,
it will never be bad.
I normally be trying to get old niggas out of here, right? But there is a rare exception for a few niggas like Jericho. Go as long as you want, brother. Rey Mysterio, he's on that list. That go as long as you want, brother.
y'all look, as we talked about, I grew up on WCW cruiserweights, right? Like, I don't be out here saying wrestling to be how we do it, but this was
the Dory Funk Jr. of Luchadores.
I don't even know what that means. But yeah, man, like I grew up on this dude. This dude was a real life superhero to me, man. And like to see him 30 years later. Literally 30 years later, 1996, him and Shawn were the two best pay-per-view wrestlers in America. 30 years later, this dude's still doing this. Shawn been going for how long? Going like he's dead. Shawn been out the game for so long. Shawn retired in 2010, came back, had a Saudi Arab money match in 2018, and been going for 8 years.
Yeah.
It's amazing, bro.
Yeah. Incredible.
Look, he came out with a shirt, and I saw him coming out the ring with a shirt, and he had it was very similar to the shirt he had in 2019. I was like, let me go to WWE shop and see if they. Damn it, Ray got a one-on-one shirt. Sell that shirt, Ray. I need to buy another Ray shirt.
Take some money, Yeah. That's good for him though. But yeah, man. Like,
good for Gable too, man. Like, look, because look, I'm not gonna pretend like this was all Ray. Gable did most of this match. Gable was the one doing the bass, and Gable was the one that brought his own personality to what Ray's matches have been the last decade.
Yeah.
You're going to get a certain level of whatever from Ray, and it's quality, and it's up to you to figure out how to make it work around this stuff. And he made it work, and shout out to him because, we talked about this. Like, that dude's having a hell of a year by WWE standards. He might be the best worker in the company right now.
Yeah,
off a matchless type of thing.
There's only so much he's realistically gonna be able to get to do as far as like how high he's gonna go, and this
is
might
how
be
it
it
goes.
for him. Like this might be it, unless like he flukes into
this was the main
kind of Royal Rumble win or something like. But
nah, I ain't buying that.
Yeah,
but I agree with you. Like this might be the best it gets, but look, if he don't look. Fire him or tell him to take a pay cut if you want to see where he ends up. That dude ain't gonna be hurting for work. Like, there's some guys that come through. There's some dudes that be like, yeah, we can fire them because ain't nobody, no one's gonna pick them up or whatever else. All right,
they'll be waiting.
Right.
They chose Baron Corbin instead of Dragunov.
Brought back Big Cass.
Big Cass instead of Dragunov. Incredible. But yeah, man. I don't know what else is going on out here. I think that might have been it. That's on the list that I have written down.
Anything crazy happened over the last week or so in WNBA that we need to talk about? Any recent race wars breakout that I'm aware of?
Nothing specific or anything. It was like Fever or Caitlin Clark's first time in Canada. It like was drawing comparisons to like when Michael Jordan would go play like the Vancouver Grizzlies or like the Toronto Raptors or something like that.
Okay.
So they got a nice welcome out there. They had won 5 games in a row. The Dream had beat the Aces, and then the Sparks now back to back.
Yeah,
and I was kind of shocked.
The hell out the Sparks.
I was kind of shocked that the Aces won. What else was going on? The Lynx went into Golden State and was like, yeah, like they had less points than they normally score. It was like some muckball shit, but at the end of the day, it was like, hey, brother, the game is about a bucket, and Golden State don't got people who can like just throw them the ball and make something happen. So, like the Lynx are looking really good, man.
Was that tonight or yesterday?
I think that was maybe yesterday.
Okay,
maybe or 2 days, something like that. I don't know. Monday, I think.
Okay.
The Wings had a game against the Valkyries. They lost at Golden State. Wings beat the Fever tonight.
Wasn't Paige bad in that game?
Yeah, Paige did some weird shit. So, like, Paige was like, she wasn't playing the scoreboard. Like, she was playing like, hey, I got to get my 20 or whatever. And, like, they needed basically, like, desperation shots at the end of the game to like try to close the gap because it was still within striking distance, but she was just ho-hum, get down the court to her spot, get to the mid-range, try to shoot a contested 2, and it was like, what are you doing? Y'all should be taking 3s right now. Like, and it was like I think she scored 2 points in the first half and then it ended with 22 or whatever, but like it was like, hey, ain't none of this actually affecting the game. Like something like that. But yeah, her and Caitlin had an ass off tonight, like against each other. Like they both stunk it out. Hand Kelsey and Enrique at water.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kelsey Mitchell almost had a whoop Marina Mabry's ass. I forgot about that. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I saw it. I don't even know what happened though. It's like it didn't even seem like some. It had to be some shit that happened before that play.
I guess it was like, I don't know, something like she's trying to get through like the cuts, and either Maria had the hands up and connecting with the neck and face or something like that, and it was like made me realize.
And then Marina had like she didn't know she was doing.
Yeah, it was like
she looked off and ignored it. It's like, okay.
It was like, oh, this is why I ain't never seen nobody try Kelsey Mitchell at all. Like she like snapped into like a different mode or whatever. I was like, oh, okay, I see what's going on here. People know. It was like this precedes you. But I don't know, it's a race to the playoffs. The World Cup should be getting started soon. 37 tonight?
Yeah, tonight. Damn.
I think she was maybe the only one that had a good game.
It looks like it. Leah Boston is like, I guess, a number 2 scorer, and she had 14.
Yeah. But yeah, man. Besides that, it's been fun watching it. Been going crazy on YouTube and all that. And our OPW hit 1,400 subs today. So thanks to all the subscribers and all that. But yeah, man.
Hate watchers too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure a couple of them pulled up, or not. But I mean, you know, it is what it is. But I'm going to be upfront about the things I love and uncompromising in that position. Like, that's I told James this yesterday or earlier today. All we ever came into this thing with, however, we were able to connect with people, is with our opinions about things. And I will never run a gimmick as far as like a sincere gimmick. Like there will be bits like Liv Morgan will never win and shit like that. Like I'm cognizant of this. I will never lie to this audience, like or any of them, and put on for some shit to feel like I fit in or fuck that. Like there's no reason to. So I don't know.
Until obviously until we get bought by WWE. And then,
correct. Like until we're on WWE radio.
But you'll know. There'll be signs. There won't even be signs. We'll even tell you, like, hey.
Well, why do they have big ass diamond earrings and on at the same time?
It won't be like, hey, welcome to One Nation Radio presented by WWE Network or whatever, WWE Podcast or some shit. You're like, you know what it is.
Mission accomplished. You know.
But, all right. I guess it's in the show, right?
Yeah, that's it. Unless you got any words on this whole situation.
Nah. I mean, we talked about it, and the thing is, like, I don't think if you watch that video, you said it all, and I thought it was reasonable. And Twitter's not the place for that for discussion like this. So,
yeah, fun.
But yeah, y'all, thanks for listening. That's the end of the show. If you are watching from the stream, be sure to go to the show notes on the podcast up and go to the Red Circle link and donate. And be sure to listen to other shows on the network. Besides One Nation Radio, you have Keepin It Strong Style, All Things Elite, Imps Adventures, Wrestling Hour with Chris Things, Tunnel Talk, the Trish and Sarah Wrestling Podcast, AEW Match Guide, and Joshi'ing Around. Thanks for listening, y'all. Later.
Peace.
Oh, we got let's go.
What if y'all get bought out by TNA? It's an open market. No.
Later, y'all.